With the recent P. Diddy news, we have to have a conversation about how Black Hollywood is no different than regular Hollywood. It's just got a familiar face on it. So I'm pretty sure that most of you all have seen it, but P. Diddy has been going through the ringer with all these cases and these accusations coming out about him. It first started out with the Cassie case, where his ex-girlfriend and former artist Cassie Ventura came out and listed a laundry list of all the things that he'd like to do with her, and especially including that freak off that he was into. Now, I suggest everybody go and read it themselves. Don't take my word for it, but he was being accused of having her have sex with tons of men, with tons of drugs in front of him, with him, all sorts of different things for the duration of her career. And since then, people have been coming out left, right, and sideways to attack Diddy's name and defame him with a bunch of allegations that he's either had to A, settle out of court, or B, we're waiting for something to happen that makes this situation be concluded. It's even caused him to step down from a lot of his business ventures, including Revolt, which was P. Diddy's very own and founded in 2013 black cable network. And the most recent one, a producer off of the Love album, P. Diddy's most recent album, who goes by the name Hot Rod, came out with some crazy statements about P. Diddy that honestly have had the internet jumping. Now, not only did Hot Rod say that P. Diddy groped him and made him get sex workers throughout the duration of creating the album, which is maybe a little bit strange because he stayed for the album creation. There was some pretty notable people that were named in this current lawsuit that have people wondering what's really going on behind closed doors.
Wait, what the fuck? I forgot. Look, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek.
And in that same line, it says another redacted who they go in the cliff notes or the footnotes to say that it is a R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl, which people are presuming is Usher, and Stevie J. Look, I'm not here to speculate on if it was Usher, if it was Meek Mill, even though, you know, the signs are right on the wall. But what I'm here to tell you guys is that this is not some new phenomenon. Black Hollywood, just like every other Hollywood, has been filled with deviant and debaucherous things for the long-standing history. Even Usher was talking about when he was 15 years old, how he was sent to live on Puff Daddy's camp to be mentored by him.
I go in, I start singing the song. He's like, wait a minute. Is it okay if I bring somebody in the room so that you can have an audience? I said, sure, no problem. Wow, he brings a room full of girls. Ooh. Interns who happened to be in the building at the time.
And that was intentional to see if you had sex appeal, right?
He wanted to see if I would get nervous.
Right.
Yes.
This is his plan now. We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah, and you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Yes.
I mean,
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
Now, why would a 15-year-old Usher need to be around all those adults doing all those adult-like things? If this isn't a signing of a contract with essentially the devil at this point to just get you into these nasty sorts of environments and groom these young men and young girls to become deviants to then pass it on to the next generation, and I don't know what is. And it doesn't make it any better because in the next coming days, we're seeing Usher with Russell Simmons in an island in Bali, and Russell Simmons has a laundry list of allegations going on right now, and they claim that he's evading prosecution in the US by being in Bali right now. When I hear stuff like that, I think about, you know, all the people that R. Kelly was involved with when he had the Surviving R. Kelly doc, and him dating and marrying Aaliyah when she was like 13 or 14 years old, and how Black Hollywood is just a cesspool of just nastiness and degeneracy in order to boost yourself up because nobody's in the know-how. Specifically, Black Hollywood gives this appeal that it is holier than thou, it is very kumbaya, you're supposed to stick together because we are of the oppressed group, but ultimately power brings out the nastiness in all people. It really doesn't matter what race you are or what gender you are. We're seeing time and time again that people with power tend to abuse it.
Was that difficult for you, or were you standing on, as they say, not business but principle?
It was extremely difficult because I love those guys, man.
How difficult was it to come out because you said a Hollywood exec groped you?
Yeah.
And that's not easy for a man, especially a man of your stature.
You know, Randy Couture, Dolph Lundgren, Sylvester Stallone. I call him my dad in the business. I knew it was going to be strange. First of all, if it hadn't happened to me and I heard it, I'd have been like, man, what is this dude talking about? Couldn't get mad at people going, man, what are you doing, man? Big ass Terry Crews.
Right.
See, I'd already been through probably 8 years of therapy.
People always look to reasons as to why somebody doesn't speak out about these things before. Little Rod is an example. He went through that whole album and didn't say anything. Cassie is another example. She went through her whole career and didn't say anything. But kind of like Terry Crews just mentioned, if you speak out against power, especially on an individual level, usually that's met with a bunch of backlash, gaslighting, and blackballing. Terry Crews lost a movie opportunity because he would not drop a case in which somebody actively did something wrong to him. You know, Cassie's well beyond music, and Little Rod honestly seems like he's willing to face whatever ramifications and repercussions are coming to him. Maybe it'll be different because he's jumping on the backs of other people who are already bringing up stuff against P. Diddy, but it's not easy, as it is said, to bring against somebody all these claims and accusations, especially when these guys are the puppet masters. P. Diddy is one of the biggest names in the building. Harvey Weinstein is one of the biggest names in the building. Oprah Winfrey is one of the biggest names in the building. So how do you go against the biggest names as a small individual? Especially when it is this kumbaya atmosphere of for black people, for the future of black media, black entertainment to control our narrative. When ultimately you can't even control your own narrative because the powers at B are black, but yet they are still the powers at B.
Really getting tired of black women having the same story. Every time you achieve something really incredible, it's almost like the industry looks at it as a fluke. Fall back to the bottom. And you gotta negotiate and fight tooth and nail to get what you made the last time. When where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. I almost had to walk away from Color Purple. If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia?
I think one of the best sayings is all skin folk aren't kinfolk. You know, we empowered these people to become the owners of these entities, the owners of the labels and the owners of the TV production companies. But ultimately, just because they have the same face as us does not mean that they have the best interest in mind for people that have the same face as themselves. If you're just gonna be another person that's abusing power, what's the point of you being black and empowered? And I think it gets extra nasty when not only are you doing this to oppress them from a monetary standpoint or to gaslight them into thinking that they don't deserve, but then you're taking advantage of them in sexual manners. P. Diddy and R. Kelly aren't the only people in the entertainment sphere from the black side that have those sexual allegations against them. And hopefully those people that lived those experiences see some sort of clarity or peace of mind after their abusers are getting sent to jail or brought up on charges. But ultimately, this only makes room for the next to rise and them to take control or power. People need to be able to control their own narratives and not be subjected to those that are going to abuse power. I hate to jump to conclusions, but the settlements are letting me know that a lot of what's happening in P. Diddy's situation may have a lot of validity. And also the word's been out there for a long time. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I think black Hollywood is just as disgusting as regular Hollywood. It's just got that friendly, good old face on it.